look at me. Don't do what I be doing. Don't look at what I'm doing, okay? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome home. If you are thinking what I'm thinking, let's not even get into it. Let's not even start that conversation just yet. But if you are new, welcome to the channel. This is Navigating the Nelsons. My name is LaBrea Nelson and I am a twin mom. I started this channel with my husband a few years ago and I've kind of just taken it over, and we talk about things like homesteading, cooking from scratch, and hopefully moving forward, food preservation. So today in this video, we are going to be making sourdough starter. Well, not making sourdough starter, but rehydrating sourdough starter. And I want to take you guys along. This is my first time ever doing this, so I want to be sure that I documented it. If you are new to the process of sourdough, I will link some people down below that I know are pretty big in the sourdough world so that you can get an idea of what to actually expect. And then of course, this video is here just as like a beginner's guide from a beginner. So let me show you guys what I'm going to be using, what I purchased, and I will link all the details from where I purchased it down below. So I have been thinking about getting into sourdough for a while, but I was kind of resistant just because I've seen a lot of videos about it, and most people that maintain a sourdough feed their sourdough daily, and not only do they feed it daily, they use it daily. So they're going to make fresh bread every day, or they're going to cook some pancakes, different things that they can use with the sourdough discard every day as they're feeding it. And I just didn't know if that was something that I felt ready to commit to. As I said, I'm a twin mom, and I became a stay-at-home mom about a year before they were born. Again, probably about 9 months before they were born. And I was kind of just getting into the role of that and what that felt like, and trying to find some systems for that. So I was very resistant in getting sourdough, but I also know we consume bread on a regular basis, and this is a way to cut the cost of having to purchase bread. Of course, it's fermented, so you're gonna get the gut health from that as well. And it's just a fascinating process to me that is ever growing. I also want to get into things like kombucha and all that stuff too, but we're gonna start slow, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys what I purchased. So I just went to Etsy and purchased from this brand called Basil and Bloom. They had a lot of different options. The photos from people who've actually purchased the sourdough were pretty nice. So I said, why not? I decided to get the 3-pack because what I plan to do with this, and it came in beautiful, like came with 3 different sourdough starters, and each individualized starter came with its own instructions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it started and make some bread, and then I'm going to gift this to a couple other moms in my life with fresh baked bread, and possibly, if I've gotten to it by then, maybe even some jam. So we're gonna do that. But as I said, each one came with 10 grams of sourdough starter. And after reading the instructions, you only need half. So technically I have 5 different servings. And then it came with instructions about how to get it started, as well as instructions about how to maintain it and use it moving forward. So we're gonna get into it. I also purchased these 32-ounce wide mouth ball mason jars. I purchased 2 because from what I'm seeing in the instructions, every day you're gonna kind of pour into a new jar, a fresh clean jar, and continue to pour. So I wanted the flexibility to be able to just kind of move back and forth. And I thought that would be good. I kind of want to go back and get more of these. I'm working on my mason jar collection, but it's a slow process. So I got that. I'm also gonna probably need a rubber spatula, but I'll just see what I have in here. And anything else that I use today, you will see. And if it's something I think that you might need, I'll link it or things similar to it down below. All right, let's get started. So I'm just gonna do day 1 today, but throughout this video, you're gonna see from when I first started, so getting the whole process began until it's ready to be used. But for today's purposes, today is Saturday, March the 2nd. We're just doing day 1, and it clearly outlines here every day. So we're going to be doing step 2, step 3, and step 4. Okay. On this, in step 1 talks about what you'll need. So you're going to need your dehydrated sourdough, which is of course this right here. You're only going to need half of it. You're going to need a kitchen scale, which I have. You're going to need your containers with your lid, which is why I'm using this. You're going to use flour. So I'm going to be using bread flour. They do on this card recommend the King Arthur brand. That's just what I also just happen to have. But I don't think that if you don't have it, that it will make or break the starter. And then of course water. And I'm going to use filtered water from my sink for that. So to get started. All right, so we got our jar. I got it zeroed out. Hands are clean. Container is clean and dry. And we are going to measure out about 5 grams of starter. So we're going to put about half of this sourdough starter in here. We're still measuring 0. All right, can't trust that. I'm going to take this lid here because I'm probably not going to use that. I'm going to zero it out. And I'm going to add the sourdough to that. Yep, that's perfect. That gave me a better, looks like a bad word, but I'm not gonna go there. Okay, that's 5 grams. Perfectly splendid. So we're gonna take these 5 grams and we're gonna add it to our wide mouth jar. And I'm gonna zero it out again. And now, per this card, because I don't know what I'm doing either, we're going to add 25 grams of warm water. And again, I'm gonna use filtered water. And we're gonna add our 25 grams of water. Oh, I put 29 and 30. All right, and we're gonna take a clean spoon. All right, so this thing is telling us now, and I know we feel like we wanna do something. So it says, leave this alone for 20 to 60 minutes. So I'm gonna leave it alone for 60 minutes because I put too much water in here in hopes that that'll help me look for what I'm looking for. So I will see y'all in 60 minutes when we are back trying to figure out what's going on with this sourdough. All right, y'all, it's been an hour since I stopped, since I let this sit. And I also had some tomato soup and wasted it. So just don't look at me. Don't do what I be doing. Don't look at what I'm doing, okay? So this is our sourdough. This is what it's looking like at the bottom. And we're gonna start adding the next parts. And the next thing we're gonna do is add 20 grams of flour to the container. And I'm gonna add it slowly because I don't want it to put too much, because this is a science. It's definitely not just do whatever you want to do. So I know that that's not 20. Okay, we're at 15. So I'm just going to add a little bit more at a time until I get to 20. Again, this is King Arthur bread flour. Unbleached is what it notes. It must be unbleached. So, all right, we added the 20 grams of flour exactly. And now we're going to mix thoroughly. So let's start by addressing the elephant in the room, which is, where have I been? So, great question. I've just been mommying and lifing and just trying to find order and systems and discipline. And it has not been perfect. It has not been flawless. But I didn't want this to fall off. I didn't want to miss the opportunity for God to be able to use me, for me to be able to share, and just the opportunity for me to be able to be creative. I didn't realize it until I started YouTube, but I do feel like a creative, a person who's naturally inclined to want to create. And so whether that's through YouTube or through cooking, but I'm back doing YouTube. I'm still doing my other things. I'm still being a mom. I'm still being a social worker, a wife, and all the other roles that we all play. We all play different roles in our lives, but I'm back on YouTube. So I'm just covering this up with cheesecloth here, and that is going to wrap up the festivities for day 1. And we are done. So again, I am a beginner, but I just want to kind of show you guys getting it started. Maybe even teach you guys some things to avoid. Maybe tomorrow will go crazy and nothing will happen and I'll be so concerned, and then I'll Google and figure it out. But from what it looks like, this is the best place to start. So I'm going to keep this in my kitchen over here near the window, but not in the window. And tomorrow we'll come back. Like I said, this is a 5-day process. So tomorrow we'll come back and do tomorrow's steps. And I'll see you then. All right, you guys, it is day 2 and I haven't looked at the sourdough really. I did peek over there and it looks pretty much the same, but I'm hoping it's not the same, that I didn't mess something up. I've already got my flour in, and I've got some warm filtered water, and I'm getting my food scale, a spatula, or was it a spoon? I'm gonna need a spoon, and my instructions that I put in my drawer for easy access. So for day 2, we're supposed to measure 10 grams of your first mix into a new clean container and discard the remainder. So again, I did not clean this container. I'm a problem at this point. You would have thought that I would have cleaned them both at the same time. That would have made more sense, but am I here to make sense? Probably not. All right, so I've cleaned this jar out. I'm gonna now look at my starter. This is my first time looking at it, and I'm gonna show you how I have it set up. So I put it in this mason jar, and then I put a cheesecloth on top, tied the ring on, but then I was like, well, maybe it needs to be covered a little bit more. So then I'll just put this lid on top. I don't know if that's right. Who knows, but that's what we're doing. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off. And I'm gonna use this same lid and this same cheesecloth for this other jar, because it doesn't make sense to keep switching it. Okay, so there is a lid. Wow, there are some things happening. You can tell that it's kind of, first of all, it smells good. It smells like bread. You can tell that there's like, that it's thicker now. Before it was like an actual, like, kind of like pasty, but now it's like I don't want to say gelatinous, but it's kind of gelatinous, and there's like a liquid coming off of it, which I'm assuming is part of the fermentation. So this is day 2, about 24 hours later, give or take a few hours, because I might have did this at like 2 yesterday, and it's not 4:45, but who knows. So we're gonna take 10 grams of this mixture and put it in a new jar. So let me show that to y'all. All right, so we got our scale, we got it zeroed out, and we're gonna take our clean spoon and take 10 grams. Ooh. So we're gonna take 10 grams of that. Oh, it's slimy. Oh, I put way too much in here. Just that little spoonful was 16 grams. Oh, girl, this is like, it kind of reminds me a little bit. That's good. 10 grams. So this is what is left in this jar, and you're going to discard this. And these ratios seem appropriate for when I see people online. And they like take the sourdough discard and they use it for things, and then they have their little bit left over that they use to continue to ferment. So it seems appropriate, but it also seems kind of wasteful. So I'm gonna help my mind process around that. But moving forward, of course, you'll use this discard to make things like bread. You'll use things like to make pancakes. I've got a whole Pinterest board just dedicated to that. So be on the lookout for that. So next we are going to feed this starter. We're gonna add 25 grams of water, which I'm gonna add by the spoonful so I don't do what I did yesterday. And then we're gonna add 25 grams of flour. And then we're gonna stir until no dry flour remains, and then place the lid on again, like I did yesterday. So this is just such a forgiving process. First of all, it's very tedious, so you're getting into that habit. But also, you know, you have room to make mistakes and not feel like you have to be a super baker or whatever to be able to do it. Like, for me to be able to just make those adjustments and say, okay, well, that's okay that was more flour or that was more water, and it just worked out perfectly, it was just such a nice, refreshing thing when it comes to baking. We're gonna go from there, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. Now we're going into day 3, and as you guys can see, it doesn't look like a lot is happening, but a lot is happening. There's a lot of shifts happening with this sourdough, and y'all, I was just geeking out. Like, I was just so excited to do it. It's just the same processes every day. You're just coming back and doing the same things every day, but there's so much room to be creative. I don't know if you all have seen the sourdoughs that are out there, but there's so much that you can do, right? And I just want y'all to see how geeked out I was looking at this, like crazy. Ooh, girl, it smells sour. I just think there's such a beauty in being connected with your food and thinking about where your food comes from and how it's made, which is why I love baking. I would encourage you guys to get into this. It's so awesome. All right, y'all, I just came back from the gym and laid the boys down for their nap. It is day 5 for my starter. So I'm gonna wash my hands really quick. I'm gonna show y'all it's very active, and then I am going to feed it, and then we'll go from there. I'm thinking about making some sourdough, but I don't know how I want to do it because I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow. Really and truthfully, I need to do the research and look up what that actually entails, and then I can make an informed decision about it. But let me do that, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is my starter. I don't know if y'all remember it from yesterday. It's very active. Look at all those bubbles in there. It smells sour and fermented like yogurt. This might be my last day using that. Huh? Look at that. That's beautiful. So for this one, oh yes. We're gonna take our clean jar, and again, I am not an expert. I'm just reading the instructions that come along with this sourdough. So we've now moved on from the starting our sourdough to maintaining. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 10 grams of the old starter, 100 grams of water, and 100 grams of flour. So this is definitely more than last time. So we're gonna start. First of all, I'm gonna put this on grams because it's not. I'm gonna show you guys. So we got grams. We're gonna do 10 grams. I'm gonna use the boy spoons of starter. Ooh, look at that. So we're gonna do 10 grams. Oh yeah, this is ready to work. Oop, that's way too much. That's 15 grams. So we're gonna take some of that out. 10, 11, but that's fine. So we're gonna take that out, and then we're gonna add in our water. So we're gonna do 100 grams. I'll go check on it when I'm finished with that. Water, which may take us a while. 100 grams of water. 100 grams of water. These baby spoons. Mix this all together. This is our last day using this. We're going to put our top on, our lid on. Put the cap on top. And there you go. More than we've had literally this whole time. So the next time y'all see me with this, I will be actually making something with it. So I'm super excited. Hi, you guys. Today is Tuesday. I think today's the 12th, yeah. And I'm finally getting to the sourdough. So this particular starter that I used, she leaves hers in the refrigerator. So whenever she's ready to use it, she uses it. I took mine out yesterday morning to use it for today, but it won't be finished until tomorrow. I'm flabbergasted about it, but I have seen enough videos to know that if you want to be a person who has sourdough, it's just really about having good systems. And so this is a system I want to incorporate. I don't know if I shared this on this video, but my goal for this year is for us to only consume the bread that we make and not purchase any bread. Of course, bread is not super expensive, but if you're buying it on a regular basis, it's going to add up. It's going to be an additional cost, and also it's not that great of quality. So, like last night we had pizza. I made the dough from scratch. I would love to make sourdough pizza crust, and I've seen some recipes where they make them ahead of time and they put them in the freezer. That way, whenever you want a pizza crust, it's just already made and done. So, I'm talking a lot. We're gonna get this going. The recipe that I found last night, I didn't realize it, but it's from Farmhouse on Boone. And if you know anything about them, she's just known for her sourdough. That's a big part of her brand. And just homemaking overall is just a big part of her brand. So she's really good. Go follow her. She has tons of kids. She's married. They're debt free. They purchased their home in cash. It's just a great story. So I would encourage you to go and follow her channel as well. But needless to say, I am not any of those things, but I'm gonna get this thing done, okay? So there's a lot of steps to this. I'm gonna kind of walk you through them, but we're just gonna do the first step. I'll do a quick synopsis just to let y'all know. So I fed my starter last night. You guys didn't see that. It literally was the same process. I fed the starter last night at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Now I am going to see if the starter is bubbly, which I'm pretty sure that it is because I've been using it or looking at it for the last week or so. I'm going to combine water, the starter, flour, and salt into a bowl. I'm gonna let it rest. I'm gonna do the stretch and folds, which is so cool. I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna do that, 3 intervals of that for 30 minutes. I'm going to shape it, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Once I put it in the refrigerator, it's gonna stay there all night, and then tomorrow I will start the baking process. So, yeah, I think that's it. So now we are getting into the actual sourdough recipe. As you guys can see, the texture has completely shifted. It's changed, right? First things first, I'm saving some sourdough starter from my starter so that I can make sure that I have some for later. And I fed it. I didn't show you guys it again because that would be such a waste of time. But now I'm actually getting into the recipe, adding the starter and the flour, as well as the water and the salt. Literally, those are the 4 ingredients. Now I've seen other people do other things, like they may add mix-ins or like cheddar and jalapeno, or you know, different things like that, maybe berries or something like that. So the opportunities are endless. Like I said, I have a Pinterest board all the way dedicated to this. And so it was so easy. Like, as you guys can see at the end, I'm going to consider this a pass but fail. But really and truthfully, that was just me getting distracted. Overall, the process was easy. I feel like anybody could do it. You just got to be able, I think the measurements are the biggest part of it and the most important part. So we're about to start the stretch and folds. I'm gonna take off my Apple Watch. This has been sitting for 30 minutes. Take off my wedding ring, and we're gonna just get started. So I'm gonna put it a little lower so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And what she says is just take one side of it, and you're gonna stretch it out, and you're gonna lay it in the middle. I don't know why mine feels kind of crusty. Maybe it's supposed to feel like that. I don't know. You're gonna stretch it. Okay. It's kind of giving me the effect I seen the YouTube girlies do. And I'm gonna do, I didn't do one, so I'm gonna do one side, stretch it. So it says that's 1 round, and you're gonna leave it for 30 minutes. So we're gonna cover it again. So I'm coming back for my second stretch and fold. You guys saw me do the first one, and again, you're just doing like 4, you know, pulling in the 4 sides and pinching them together, and then you're covering it. I'm assuming that brings in air and does something with the gluten. I don't know the science behind it, but it does something, right? And it's where you're going to get all those bubbles and all that good stuff. And then now I'm going to put it out on top of some flour and pinch the sides in. So you're going to kind of do hot dog and then hot dog again until it comes into a circle and has a pinch on the top. Now it's a little sticky. I think that they said you could wet your hands, but I don't think that I did. And then you're going to lay it on some parchment paper and put it in your refrigerator. Then I've taken it out, and this is the next day. It's been in the refrigerator all night. I've preheated my oven, I think, to 400 degrees. The directions will be down. I'm scoring it, and then I'm putting it in the oven. Now you have to put the Dutch oven in first before you can put the bread in. And then you heat it for an hour, and then you put the bread in. You bake it, then you take the lid off. You bake it a little bit longer so it can get some more color on it and continue cooking. And then you're going to come out with this. Now, hopefully yours won't be burnt, but you get the gist of it. I'm about to get this bread out of the Dutch oven. I took out the pan, but it's in the Dutch oven. So I need to get it out because I wanted to stop cooking. I'm sorry I'm not looking at y'all. I'm doing 15 things at one time. But I want to get it out the Dutch oven. I'm going to lay it on another piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to I'll put it on here. I'm gonna take it out of here so it can stop cooking. I should have been paying more attention. I'm glad I set a timer because it definitely would have been burned. But it's just a little crusty right now. I've showed y'all the video already of what it looks like. But this is it right here. All right. And we're adding it. It's supposed to sound hollow. I think it sounds hollow. I'm gonna make it again, so it's not like this is gonna be a one-time experience. I'm gonna turn this so y'all can see me cutting it. Don't mind all these thousands of things that are right here. Of course, I had breakfast. And all right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it. Ooh, it's crusty for sure. It might be too crusty, girl. It's hot. All right, I'm just gonna cut the end out. Ooh, it's steaming. I just want to see what it looks like inside. Girl, it's got the holes, girl. But it's definitely crusty. It's definitely needed to be out the oven 5 minutes ago, 100%. Wow. Wow. Dang, I dropped it. It's hot, hot, hot. I should have waited, let it cool a little bit. All right, we're gonna leave it to sit. I think it turned out great. I will come back once I get ready to taste it. But I'm very proud of it. It looks so yummy. And I cannot wait. As I'm kind of looking at it, first of all, like I said, it should have came out 5 minutes ago. But as I'm looking at it, I use this. I cut this with a knife. So imagine if I had the actual doohickey that goes with it. And I could get all kind of designs. Y'all, this just blesses my little homemaker heart. Okay, I feel like a real homemaker. But for real, again, don't talk about the fact that it's as dark as I am. It's actually darker than I am. That's not important. Okay? That's not necessary information for us to talk about. We need to just focus on how crusty. Oh my goodness. I'll be back to taste it in a minute. I'm gonna try my crusty bread. It's definitely, I wish I wouldn't have cut into it. This angle is bad. I wish I wouldn't have cut into it because I think it would have been a better texture. But y'all can see the holes from the sourdough. So I'm gonna try it by itself first. So here's the crusty bread. It sounds so good and legitimate. Again, 5 less minutes. Again, 5 more minutes would have been better. I mean, less minutes, yeah. I'm gonna try it with some butter and some jam. I have this Rose City Marionberry Blast pepper jelly. Me and my friend bought this in a 3-pack when we went to Tillamook, and it was really nice. I love them with cream cheese. We're gonna eat this bread with a little jam. I'm on the phone if y'all are curious. I'm sure you can hear. I would not call this the best thing I've ever done, but I'm very proud of myself. It's okay. I should have added more salt because the bread doesn't have a lot of flavor. It's hard. but the next time I'm gonna succeed. Okay, so this has been an interesting couple weeks. Let me know if you guys are interested in any more sourdough recipes. Of course, I'm gonna recreate this because I don't want to burn it next time. I want to see it in its truest form. But I have a whole Pinterest board full of sourdough recipes. So if you guys are interested in seeing a lot of different baked goods, maybe cinnamon rolls and all those types of things in sourdough form, I will definitely try them out for you. I'm going to do something with this bread. I just don't know what it is. Do we call that a fail, a pass? Which one? I'm going to call it a pass, but I'm going to write fail. I thank y'all for being in this journey with me, watching this video. If you want to see more of my videos, I have some older videos from a little while ago that you can go back and watch as I prepare to get back into the swing of things, get back into my YouTube routine. I thank y'all for spending this time with me watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share as we try to grow the channel this year. So as we start this new journey into our 30s, we're going to start this new YouTube journey. And I just thank y'all. I love y'all. And we'll see you next time. Peace.